Well, it's that time of year again, folks. The time when people on YouTube start talking about scary pieces of media, whether that be a horror movie, a horror game,
She is such a bad bitch though!
or just something that gives off weird and creepy vibes. Now, if you don't know me, I absolutely adore media relating to the horror genre. When I started using YouTube at a very young age, I recall watching all these creepy and unnerving videos that I could just not stop watching. Nowadays on YouTube, horror videos are a bunch of cringe 3am challenges that are totally legit and not fake at all, guys. Or some commentator talking about a scary story they found on r/scary stories with some Minecraft gameplay footage. I'd say the only horror channel that is still good today would probably be Watcher. And most of that is thanks to Ryan and Shane being such an iconic duo. Seriously, I love these guys so much. But there was this one series on YouTube I would occasionally watch as a kid. A series that creeped me out so much that I completely forgot about it. Until recently, and that series is Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. This weird series was created by Becky Sloan and Joe Pelling all the way back in 2012 on YouTube. It was a series about puppets that was disguised as a show that would be for kids. But as these short episodes would go on, they would get more twisted and creepy to watch. These shorts will quickly take off in popularity, doing a crossover with The Amazing World of Gumball, which by the way is one of the weirdest episodes of Gumball out there, and eventually getting a full series on Channel 4. Now in this video, I'll mainly be going over the TV series that recently aired in the UK, mainly because there is a lot more to talk about, and both the TV series and the YouTube shorts are essentially the same. All you really need to know is that the YouTube shorts are around 3 to 5 minutes long, and are basically music videos with things getting weirder and weirder. So with all that out of the way, it's time to talk about this weird series and see what makes it so terrifying, yet so charming at the same time.
What the hell are we watching?
I don't know, but I don't like it. Let's watch something else, like SNL.
No, wait. Let's hear what he has to say about this show. It could be good.
Alright, then let's continue, only because I'm not gonna watch SML.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is about 3 friends named Red Guy, Duck Guy, and Yellow Guy, very original names I must say, who live together in their house and get into some pretty weird situations. And believe me, when I say weird situations, I mean the most fucked up situations you can ever imagine. Like, these lads will just be chilling, minding their own business, and then the next minute, they're going through the most painful shit anyone can ever imagine that'll cause trauma to anyone. But all this creepy and messed up material is hidden behind some paint that disguises this series as a sweet and innocent kid show. Anyone who is new to this series will probably think that it's some silly, goofy kids cartoon about a bunch of puppets getting into some wacky situations. But just from the beginning, you sort of get the sense that something isn't right. It looks like a kid's show, and the characters talk in a very simple way, but the entire series gives off a really unnerving vibe. Like, everything seems too normal, if that makes sense. I think a good way to describe what I'm talking about is to go over the main characters' designs. The Duck Guy and Yellow Guy have somewhat normal designs, I guess, although the Duck Guy looks like a Muppet who was rejected due to being an alcoholic, and the Yellow Guy looks like someone who would be a dream stan and doesn't have a father, but they both have pretty basic designs that look kind of kid-friendly. But then there's the Red Guy, and there's something about his design that just kinda creeps me out. It could be the fact that he isn't really a puppet, but instead, someone acting inside of a costume. The way he stands up and moves around the place sorta gives off this weird, creepy, uncanny valley feel that I just can't really explain. Like, the 2 other guys are puppets, so their movements are kind of limited, but then the Red Guy walks around and moves like a real person, which is just kinda weird, isn't it? On a small side note, I just want to say how much I love the 3 main characters. Before I got into the series, I was kind of worried that the main characters would be bland and nothing interesting. But no, as a matter of fact, I really enjoyed the 3 main characters. They all have their own personalities and bounce off each other so well. It's really nice seeing them just talk to each other and experience some crazy shit together. I think my favorite character has to be the Red Guy. He speaks in such a dead monotone voice, and he garnered quite a few laughs from me, especially when he just starts screaming out of nowhere. It's so funny.
I can't help you. I don't work here. Okay, fine.
Anyway, back on track. The whole show has such a creepy and unnerving vibe in general. Each episode will start off with a pretty basic beginning, like the characters get a job, they go on the internet, or they learn what it's like to be part of a family. But the imagery and atmosphere progressively gets more and more uncomfortable, to the point where it basically becomes a completely different show. Then suddenly, everything just goes back to normal, and the characters will go on with their lives. This intriguing setup makes for such an enjoyable viewing experience, as you never know what's gonna happen next. and the way they go about with these plots and storylines is so entertaining, yet scary at the same time. Another aspect that really helps set the creepy vibe for the show has to be the visuals. I mentioned earlier how the show uses puppetry, which is a really time-consuming and complicated way to produce something, but it ends up creating something that looks really good. And the puppet work that was used here is surprisingly really impressive for a TV series. And they don't just use puppets here, they go for many different styles of animation, like 2D animation, stop motion, and even computer animation sometimes, which really helps make each episode stand out from each other. And like I said, the visual look and style here is so good, considering that this is just some weird British TV series. They also do a phenomenal job when it comes to creating freaky and unnatural designs. Plus, the way they handle gore and violence here is in a way that isn't downright disgusting, but it's still creepy to look at. I think the perfect episode that really nails the creepy design to the show has to be the family episode. In this episode, the three main guys learn all that there is to know about being part of a family. They get educated by these two siblings who look kind of familiar to the brother and sister in Fireman Sam. Did anyone else notice that, or was that just me? As the episode goes on, things get really weird, as we see how fucked up this family is, and it was one of the many times where I felt genuinely uncomfortable watching the show. There were many points while watching the series where I didn't really know if I felt uncomfortable or wanted to laugh, since this show is genuinely hilarious. I laughed at so many points throughout the series. The humor is this weird type of anti-humor, if that makes sense, where the jokes don't really sound funny on paper per se, but the way the jokes are delivered and presented is done in a very clever way that I can't help but laugh. They fire so many jokes to the viewers that gives the show a rewatchable value, since there might be some small jokes that you may have missed on your second or even third viewing. And yeah, the series does go for some mild dark humor here and there. Like, there's an episode where the duck guy has this planned death thingy. It makes more sense when you watch the episode, trust me. And they sort of make fun of the concept of death, while also making it both creepy and kind of sad as well. That's what I love about the series. It has all these hidden messages and meanings in each episode. And honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what these messages even mean, since all these deeper meanings are hidden very well, and it'll take way more than a map path to solve all this. But the one time during the series where I was properly hooked to the story was the final episode, more specifically, the ending scene. To give you all some context, Yellow Guy becomes really smart and starts to wander around the house, and their entire world sort of starts to break down. He then walks into this room where he sees this old creepy woman playing on a piano, and she gives him this book that I think has all the answers to what's going on? Maybe? I don't know. He then becomes stupid again and ends up shredding the book, leaving everything back to normal. What a happy little ending, am I right? This entire scene genuinely shocked me, as it was such a deep and fascinating moment from a show that's about some puppets going on some weird adventures. Just the image of an old real-life woman playing on a piano in a small dark room is super iconic. And I like that we as the audience don't really know what's going on, and neither do the characters. And honestly, I'm fine with that. I like the mystery of not knowing what's happening, and this can also allow the creators to spoon-feed us more clues and hints to the deeper lore and meaning to the series. But I think that's enough talk for today's video. I really love this series, and I cannot wait to see more episodes. It's such a unique and creative series, and I've never seen anything like it before. And I hope that this weird series can help inspire people to go out there and make something strange yet incredible. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Remember to stay safe during Halloween, and I shall see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Well, that sucked.
I told you we should have watched SML.
Actually, I kinda liked it.
Shut up.